Welcome back. So, Arkansas elections take place every 2 years, and most of the time, the power of incumbency is strong. I mean, we always complain about a do nothing Congress, but the truth is, we send the same people back into their positions of power quite regularly, cycle after cycle. And currently at the federal level, there are no term limits, but we do have term limits here in Arkansas, which most agree is a good thing. But even with term limits, which are designed to limit the perennial power of incumbency, we don't get to see new faces very often. But here at Conservative Arkansas Media, when I get the chance to interview someone new, I think it's always a good idea to get new perspectives on what it's like to run for office, get elected, and enter into the world of governing, legislating, and politicking. Jeremy Wooldridge is a freshman state representative serving District 1. He's from Marmaduke, and he joins us now. Jeremy, thank you so much for coming on the program. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Paul. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about excuse me, I had the wrong setup there. Tell us just a little bit about what it's like running for office. First of all, I mean, what made you want to run for office?
Well, I tell you, it is more than just you. It's a process by which you can't do that alone. I've heard people say that throughout my life. People that have held elected positions at the local level, state level, and federal level, and it's bigger than you. And when you hear that statement, it is true that it's bigger than you. The process is overwhelming. It takes the support of your family. It takes the support of your community, and it just is a really humbling process.
Yeah, no doubt. And what made you want to do it? And what made you want to be a Republican? I mean, I know we've got super majorities
Sure.
now, but address that if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So, I feel like that constitutionally, what makes me who I am is my faith. That's something that's fundamental for me. That's something that's basically a non negotiable as far as I'm concerned. So, the principles that propel me are the principles of faith. Those align with the Republican Party. I'm a conservative fiscally and then also on the social issues and things like that. So, honestly, I have dedicated my life to service and to serving others. This is not a new thing for me. I've been in mental health for number of years, was a therapist there and a supervisor for an agency providing those services to individuals, trying to help them become their best version of themselves. And honestly, what propelled me to Rome was just to continue to be that voice for the voiceless, or folks that feel like they've been rendered voiceless by the process. I wanted to advocate for those individuals, felt like I had the ability to serve and the support of my family, and prayed about it, and the door was opened, and here I am.
Well, and it's always interesting to get a freshman perspective as well. So this you're coming into your
Yes, sir.
first term. This is your first legislative session. So I understand it's probably a learning curve. I mean, maybe not for all, but I would say for most. So
Right.
what's it been like? What's the experience of getting to Little Rock and getting accustomed to everything?
Well, I'll tell you, the thing that has been wonderful about the process is the current folks that are here. We've got a great leadership. Matthew Shepard, the Speaker of the House, has been a wonderful leader of the House for a number of sessions now, and he's been extremely helpful in terms of orienting freshman members and creating an environment that not only we can be successful in, but have an opportunity to lead based on some knowledge and what we bring to the table from a background perspective. So that's been wonderful, been inclusive, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that have been afforded to me so far.
Well, and I know that let's just take, for example, the committee process. I mean, that's where the sausage is made and everything. So,
Right,
but I also know that freshmen aren't necessarily, typically going to get the most coveted committees, so to speak. So, what committees
right.
did you end up on your first term?
Well, like I said, I bring a behavioral health background. I'm a licensed therapist, so I was fortunate enough to land a spot on public health, which deals with all of the licensure type issues for healthcare and other things around the state, as my primary A committee, and aging children and youth, the foster care, some foster care issues, military affairs issues as my B committee. I think that I have some value that I can add to the process there. I'm an alternate on council, which is the legislature in the interim, and I'm the vice chairman of information technology and broadband expansion. So that's important to Northeast Arkansas, to my district specifically.
Yeah. Well, I know I kind of asked you this a little bit when we were scheduling the interview, but what's the feel in the legislature right now? I mean, with Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I mean, I know
Right.
this since you're a freshman, you kind of don't have anything you may not compare it to, when there was
Right.
the former administration versus the new administration. But from what I've been hearing, and feel free to disagree, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people definitely feel like it's a new day, and that the state has certainly leapt to the right of the political spectrum. What are your thoughts, State Representative Wooldridge?
Right. I tell you, it's an exciting time to be in Arkansas, in my opinion. We've got a wide variety of new leaders, up and coming leaders that have kind of come up from different areas of the state, coming together collectively. I've told everyone I ran to be part of something bigger than me. I wanted to be a part of a body that is making a change in the lives of Arkansans, and I think that we all share that vision, that passion. Obviously, heavily majority, a super majority of Republicans in the House, a Republican governor, all constitutional officers. So it's an exciting time for Arkansas, and it's an opportunity for us to move the needle in the right direction.
Yeah, well, it's certainly good to meet you, State Representative Jeremy Wooldridge, and it's good to get your perspective on things. And I'm glad that you could spend some time with us, and we look forward to do it again. When we've got another issue in front of us that you could speak to. So we really do appreciate you, sir.
You bet, Paul. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate you. Have a good afternoon.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for this edition of Conservative Arkansas Media. We'll be back here next week with another legislative roundup. Thank you so much for watching, and be safe, Arkansas.